Welcome here, guys. Episode 2 of Survivor Ghost Island on our vlog, not necessarily episode 2 of the show. Second episode after the merge. I've got Tyler with me.
Hey, guys.
Um, we're going to talk a little Survivor. This episode is not quite as dramatic as the last one. We didn't get the big showdown like last time because there can't be a showdown every episode. But I thought it was an overall good episode for what it was. We got an idol play. We had a lot of moving towards the end. Tyler, what were your thoughts?
I liked the episode. I didn't really like the outcome as much. We probably know why. Libby's an attractive blonde. Got a thing for her, Maybe I'll run into her, ask her out. Probably not, though. It's not my luck. But, no, I just felt like there was a big move to be made by the old Malolo tribe, and I think they kind of squandered that opportunity. But overall, I thought it was a good episode. I didn't think that Michael was going to have that many votes thrown his way, so Malolo definitely had a chance to turn the tables on them a little bit. So,
I mean, but when you look at it on that aspect, every vote was either for Michael or Libby, except for Michael, I think, voted for Wendell. So everyone else, even Libby, voted for Michael. I mean, it's clearly that the tribe and the minority has no function together to where they could pull off an upset at this point. Maybe next episode we were teased with something else. Libby was our Texas representative.
mm-hmm.
It says Houston. I'm sure it's a suburb of Houston or some surrounding area. But now that we won't have a Texas winner this season, are you sad?
I'm a little sad. I was going to take her to a Texans game, celebrate her victory next season, but, that's out the window now. I'll just have to take her to a Texans game, probably Cowboys. Watch Texans, spank them up and down the field a little bit. But, I got some other people I'm pulling for. I was going for her and, Michael, kind of Wendell, but I don't think he's going to last too much longer after that last reward challenge and everything. But I am sad to see no one from Texas in there anymore.
Okay, so now let's get your thoughts on so far what you've seen of Ghost Island and how you feel about it.
I like the Ghost Island aspect, but then again, a lot of it I like because they're bringing back like old idols that burn people. So it's just kind of cool to hear the stories again and then them talk about, the past seasons a little bit. Based off, the topic last week in the vlog or whatever this is. I'm with y'all. I think that, there's got to be an idol there somewhere other than the games. And I would be, searching high and low. I mean, you're there by yourself. What else is there to do but look for an idol? That also makes me think that there's not one on there. I mean, because they're not just sitting there sleeping for 12 hours. They're probably just not showing them looking for idols. Maybe they tell them there is no idol. I don't know. But I'm kind of curious on that one. I'd like them to say if there was an idol on there or not at the end at the reunion episode. I know they probably won't, but it'd be nice to know because, I mean, I'm with y'all. You got nothing else to do. I'd be searching for an idol and, you'd think you'd find one or somebody would have by now.
Okay, second thing about the Ghost Island itself is, how do you feel about the urns? Or do you think the producers are making them go in a row? That has to be the only thing because everyone keeps smashing a line. And how do you think the producers decided? Did they make the urns, put play or not play, and then put them in, or did they know where they put them and knew at points in the game when people wouldn't be able to play based on episodes and visits?
I really don't think that they, rigged it. I think it's all random. I think they just put them in there randomly. Whether or not they tell them to go on a line or not, I don't know. But it'd be interesting, psychologically, especially they're low on food and stuff. It's funny what the mind does to you sometimes. I just wonder if the first person picked the first one and the second person just happened to pick the next one in line. So then when the third person got to Ghost Island, they thought, oh, I have to go in order because everybody else did, and it just continues to follow that pattern. So I don't know. I mean, I've read stuff, where you can kind of get in somebody's head a little bit that way. You know, your mind does what it wants to do based off certain reactions. If I play rock, paper, scissors with you, I know a trick to where I can make you throw scissors, you know, the majority of the time. I practiced it on my students one day, and I think all but like 3 threw something other than scissors. So, and I think I did it to like 20 kids. So, you know, psychologically, you know, I think that I would like to think that maybe they're just all hitting it in a row because they think that's what they've got to do. I don't think the producers would kind of rig that one up. I think they do rig, you know, tribe swaps and stuff like that to kind of spice things up. But as far as idols,
Hold on,
so.
hold on. How are they going to rig a tribe swap when it's you draw a random buff?
Well, no. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, you know, let me see how to word this. You know, like things aren't going well for, you know, one tribe and they've got one player who's obviously on the outs next vote. It's time for a tribe swap. They may, you know, it may be in that person's favor. It may not, but at least it gives them a chance.
Let me help you with this, just so you know, and this is my take on it and probably the truth in the world. The tribe swaps occur because if we didn't do tribe swaps, Survivor would have never evolved like it had. And it doesn't work all the time. It's not working so far in this season. But you do tribe swaps, especially multiple in a season, so that people have intermixed and maybe different alliances are created. That way it's not one tribe gets up and just picks another tribe off.
Right. That's pretty much what I was trying to say. I just suck with words. Yeah, I think that's when they, you know, get them in there when it looks like everyone's ganging up. It's going to be boring. One tribe has the numbers and just continues to pick off. It's the thing I haven't liked about this season as much as Navidi's kind of, they've all been trying to just hang Navidi strong the whole time, which is smart, but it's just not as much fun to watch. I'd like to see some more backstabbing and stuff.
Okay, the big cart right now is, do you see any alliances that are not prevalent on TV, or like maybe there's a few discussions but aren't like the Wendell Dominic alliance that may emerge and change the game in the next few episodes?
I don't know. I could see the girls, the Navidi girls, trying to bring Michael along to try and take down Wendell and Dominic, because I don't think they're going to pick off Malolo next. I think there's going to be a clear divide. I think they'll try and pick up Michael with the intent of dropping him as soon as they can, but you know, he'll probably work his way in on one of those ladies, you know, probably Angela. I think Desiree is pretty tight with the rest of them, her and Kellen, and Chelsea's just there, you know, but we'll see what happens. I don't see Donathan, that's his name, Donathan and Laurel.
Yeah.
I don't see them doing a whole lot. Just being
I'm rooting for Laurel, by the way, just so you know.
I mean, it'd be nice if she won, but I don't think she's really doing anything. I think she had her chance this last episode to build a resume, and you know,
we'll see.
They kind of blew that.
I'd like to think that she went to from what I understand, an Ivy League school, was in track, so she's got enough athleticism and hopefully enough brains to do this. And you've got to understand at this point in Survivor, it started probably about really big with the Millennial versus Gen X season. If you jump out in front as the leader, you can get taken out pretty easy.
Yeah. So that, I mean, I didn't want her to jump out like that. You know, this last episode, I felt like, you know, it could have been a move for her, Donathan, Libby, and Michael to put on their resume. So it wouldn't have singled out any one of them. But we'll see. I mean, they're on the island. I'm not. So they know a little bit more than I do. A little bit.
By the way, well, yeah, of course. And by the way, everyone, and you can say I looked it up because I 100% did. King Ben was the winner of the last season, as I could not remember his name, but me and Jody were podcasting. Ben, when he emerged as a leader, was paranoid, kind of like Tony, and just happened to creep around the bushes when they were all talking either at the well or the coastline, whatever it was. And when he did that, he heard them, and then he just won immunities and had idols to keep himself alive. So that's why I'm saying usually if you emerge as the head leader, it's rough to win the season.
Yeah, for sure. I'm glad he won the last season. I thought, every episode I was like, well, Ben's going home tonight. But somehow he was able to pull it off. So that was fun.
I think they called him Mike, but I think his name's Michael. He was out of, it said Odessa, Texas. He won the collars, blue collar, white collar, no collar season. And he was he went about it a little different with the auction thing, kind of hurt him in the eyes of people, even though he went back and did it. Even though then when he apologized to Tribal, I think it brought a few votes his way to get him to win. But Michael was pretty much like Ben. It was win, have an idol, or go home. Mm-hmm. So do you like rooting for those people?
It's fun. It's stressful because you know that they have to win every immunity or they have to find every idol. It does make it more fun than just, one alliance just sticking together till the end and just picking everybody off and then turning on each other a little bit when there's 5-6 left. However, if I played, I would like to be an alliance that, stayed pretty tight and did that. But it's definitely more fun when you know that somebody's got their backs against the wall. You know that if they make it to the end, they're going to win. And you don't think they're going to because everybody's gunning for them. So it was nice to see Ben win last season in that scenario.
Jeff had said during the Tribal Council that they will be using the new format. And he's talking about what they did with Game Changers. This will be our third season to where it's a live debate at the end. These people started filming before the other episode aired, so they are not aware that when they get down to the final four, the winner of that immunity challenge will pick who goes with them, and the other two will do fire. Do you think we'll get the same thing we had play out this time, to where it just gives someone life like it did Ben at the end to know that, hey, I was going home, but now I got a chance?
I don't know. I like that aspect because it does throw a wrench into things. It's not just all about that last immunity. You still have to, you've still got to plead your case, and you still, there adds a little more luck into it because, it's not fun when they go to the end and they just take 2 turds with them, and that, you already know they won. You don't even need to watch the last episode. They took 2 layups with them. So I like the fire format. I liked that it gave Ben a shot. These guys don't know it, so they're probably not going to be practicing fire every day. I would be, but it's a good format. We'll see what they do with it.
When you talk about taking people with you, I go back to a few seasons ago when Michelle won. And I don't know what your thoughts are. We have never discussed this. Aubrey is argued to should have won that season because Michelle never went to Tribal before the merge, and she was wrong on several votes. It seemed like she was either in a vote because someone wanted her in a vote or she didn't know, and she won. And it seems like she did win the one challenge to where she got to vote off someone on the jury, which hurt Aubrey, I think. But did Aubrey take the wrong people with her, or did it just fall that way? And how do you really know if someone's going to win or not?
You don't, but we're only seeing an hour out of however many days they're spending.
Usually 72 hours.
So, there's a lot more conversations going on than we know of. I'd be interested to know exactly how much information, they actually pass to each other, especially at that stage in the game. You would think that when you start to get to Final Four, you kind of know what everyone's about. Whoever wins the last immunity, that you're going, everybody's pleading with everybody. Hey, Final 3, right? Final 3, right? When it's Final Four, everybody's got a Final 3 with everybody. So, I would, I don't know that you can. Man, you got somebody pissed off over there, huh?
Yeah, there's a baby in the background crying. We are live. It wouldn't be a good vlog without one crying.
Well, that's true. It happened last week.
Yeah. So the question's real simple on this. I'm going to ask you, and you can tell me what you think. When you're out there, and if someone ever gets out there who's on my vlog, including myself, someone else will have to do this, because if you're a part of the game, I don't want to talk to you while we're watching it. We can talk about it after. When you're out there and you're having these conversations, this is what me and Jody talked about last time, is you have to have moments of human element, because two of the people usually in the final three have pissed everyone off. One person is possibly just a goat. So it's, can you connect with them humanly? Did you connect with them while they were there? Some people get hurt because their bonds are too strong at the end, and like, how could you backstab me? And then they can't come up with a good story on the final tribal. And then some people, I think, have good bonds, and they can find, oh, this is my human story. This is why I'm here. And they come back and reel it in. Hey, they voted me out, but I like this person, and I'm going to vote.
I'm right there with you. Most things aren't what have you done, it's what have you done lately. So, it comes down to what you're going to say. You've got to pull at those heartstrings, so to speak. When they're going to write a name down, you want your name written down in this scenario, so you need to say something that's making them think about your name. Like you said, you make those human connections. You make them, see that you are a real person. You're not just somebody out there making up stuff, searching for idols and being dominant at challenges. You've got to look like a real person. You've got to let them know, what your story is, what your life is when you're not on Survivor. You got to let everybody into that. So that definitely helps. I've definitely noticed that in the last few seasons. It hasn't just been like, oh, this person was the best person out there, let's vote for him. Or this person pissed me off, I'm not voting for you at all. Some of them do that, but Ben had a real good story last year where he really, I think, kind of swayed some people with it.
I'm not sure about game changers. I cannot remember if Officer Sarah, as Cherie calls her, if she cried or not, but I know Michelle in her tribal gave tears at the end. I know Adam Klein talked about his mom and had tears at the end. And I know Ben was choking up. I think he started to have a little tears. And, I mean, it's just, you give someone that human element, because Aubrey sat there and was like, I played this way. This is my strong game. And then, dang it, now I can't remember the girl's name last year, the mom. She was like, moms are heroes, healers, and hustlers too. And that's why
I can't think of her name.
And so that's why when you get to it, it's like, if you stand up there and you're stern and the other people can get emotional, then it's hard to win. Like when Rob won his season finally on Redemption Island, no one really got emotional in that one. And everyone knew Rob had carried Phillip and the girl to the end. But it's like, if you can't get emotional and someone else can, and there's any doubt, it's not going to end well for you.
Yeah. Definitely agree on that one. That season with Boston Rob, that was the best Survivor I've seen anybody play. Now, again, you've got Phillip, who just goes and be your little secret agent, pissing everybody off. That helps. But I'm not going to lie. I'd probably lose if I made it to the final, because I don't think that I could swing that. I'd dominate everybody up until that point, but
So are you going to play like Russell and do whatever it takes to get to the end, and actually probably play the correct game to get to the end, but not the correct jury management, and then not be able to reel them in?
Oh, yeah, that'd be me for sure.
Because, I mean, Russell has gotten there, and he always says, hey, it's an easy win for me. I got this. I played the best game, guys. And it's like, that's how he goes. And he might play the best game to get there, but this is why Survivor's the best show, is there's so many elements to it. It can't just be a physical threat. It can't just be someone who's super smart. You have to have a well-rounded aspects in most seasons to win.
Yeah. They're all talking about resumes and building a resume now. I don't think you have to have this impressive resume. I think you need to have maybe one move they got you in a good position, and then, you know, like you said, like y'all are saying, you know, it's putting it the best way, having that human element at the end, you know. Russell, you know, these guys making all these moves, move, and then they can't swing the jury at the end. It's kind of all for nothing. Because everyone's going to ask them, like, what did you do to get here? Well, you just need to be able to bring up one instance. And then if you can, you know, sway them at the end, that's all you really need. I really feel like the Malolo tribe had a chance to get that one resume building move if they would have all voted together and just taken anybody out. I think they're going to go for Wendell. That would have been all they needed if any of them was at the end, and then it would have been the emotional, you know, this is my story, this is why I deserve to win, you know. But they didn't do that, so in my opinion, they're all screwed.
Do you have any predictions moving forward, like who may or may not be voted off in the next episode? Do you think anyone is going to have a game that we don't see that may emerge? What are your thoughts just the season moving forward?
Well, one sleeper pick I've got, we talked about it, you laughed it off because you said she said 30 words all season, I think Chelsea might come out later on and surprise people. You can say I'm saying that because she's the cute brunette, all you want, but or she redhead, I don't care. I don't know, like when they're talking, you know, I've seen a few clips and, you know, she doesn't say a lot, but, you know, she's saying stuff that, you know, I can't think of which girl wants to go a different direction, and she's kind of guiding them back into like, no, this is why we need to do this. So she might be pulling a little more strings in the background than we really get to see right now as far as keeping that tribe strong. I don't think Wendell or Dominic are going to do anything. They seem to be playing pretty hard right now. I think they're going to paint targets. Michael's the only one on Malolo that I think might be able to make something happen just because he's good at challenges. And I think everybody just kind of likes him too. They wanted to get rid of him because he's a guy threat. So, you know, that's who Wendell and Dominic are going to want to get out of here. But the girls might get smart and try and use Michael to get rid of Wendell and Dominic. So we'll see what happens.
Is there, and I know it might not include everybody, is there an all-girl alliance going to have, and they've teased it at least 3, maybe 4 times. Is there an all-girl alliance, and what are your thoughts on that, yes or no, and if it is, will it get to the end?
If there is, let's see, who do we have? We have Angela, Chelsea,
Kellen
Desiree, and Kellen. So those 4, we're at 11 right now.
They're still a 5th girl. It's just they're not going to use her.
Jenna, but I don't think she'd be really – she's just kind of floating in the middle right now, which she won't go home soon because she's floating in the middle and she's not really doing anything. She's going to be a vote. I think she'd be more likely to go to the girls.
Could Michael be their Tarzan?
I think so. That's what I said earlier.
Yeah.
I think that they can pull him over and try and take out Wendell and what's his name, Dominic, and then I could even see him kind of breaking up that little group of 4 and maybe getting 1 or 2 of them on his side, you know, and maybe making a move, telling them, you know, yeah, I'll take you to the end type stuff, you know, but the all girls, I think that they could pull it off. Laurel and Donathan, they're with Wendell and Dominic, so they're kind of out. I think the girls are going to play. They've been playing it safe with the numbers all season long, so they're not going to turn on each other early. I'd like to see them do it. It'd be more exciting, but Kellen's, you know, got a rope around the rest of them. You know, that Navidi strong. As long as she doesn't get too much into it like Bradley, she'll be all right.
Quick question. We're about to wrap this up.
All right.
Quick question. Wendell, chances of winning? Percentage. Just give me a percentage.
I'm going to go with a 20% chance.
Dominic,
I'm going to put him right there with Wendell at 20%.
Michael,
I think he has – I'm going to put him at about a 25% chance.
Does anyone have over 40% chance right now in your mind of winning?
I don't think so.
Okay. We'll probably revisit this later in the season.
Yeah, at this point, I think it's kind of up in the air. Out of the girl alliance, I don't see anybody stand out really, and out of the alliance with Wendell and Dominic, and then Michael on the outskirts, I see there being a battle between the three early on, where they're going to start getting picked off. So I don't really want to commit to that or bet any money on them. So.
Okay, so gonna wrap this up. I'll let y'all see Tyler's face one more time and let him have his final words. This was a good season so far. I think it's shaping up. It might not be the greatest season ever, but there's an element Ghost Island. Tyler, last thing I want you to wrap up before you go. You can say your name, anything like that. But can you give us your thoughts if we will see Ghost Island played again or revisit it in another season?
Oh, for sure. Everybody likes to feel nostalgic about anything. I think the main thing that people have liked about this episode is getting to see all the old idols, burnt stick and, all that stuff, and getting to hear the old stories. They'll do it. I don't think it'll be anytime soon, but they'll definitely play this one out again. Maybe the urns over there will get randomized a little bit if they're taking heat on it, but I think they'll play it again.
Okay. Guys, this was Tyler and me doing the second vlog episode of Survivor Ghost Island. We'll be back sometime next week we'll always try and have the vlog out before Survivor airs. Thanks for your time, Tyler.
War Eagle, woo!
That was unnecessary and definitely uncalled for.